Thank you guys very much. Welcome to Black Friday. Welcome to Stone Soup Poetry. Welcome to Stone Soup Poetry on Black Friday. I'm so glad we got a nice turnout. Hopefully you guys got your Friday deals in where you needed them. If you needed them, we might need them. Uh, that's the plan now. Take Black Friday deals now because we're going to be paying out the other end in after January 21st. Good Lord. Good luck, everyone. Hope you guys had an enjoyable Thanksgiving. And let's just get to the open mic. That's what I feel like doing. I'm going to go now to Ari Whipple. We haven't seen them since the last time you were here. I'd still want to get you to feature at Stone Soup, but take it away right now.
Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm being put on the spot. Okay, sure. Yeah, okay. Um, I have a poem that I'm coming up for my next book, which is called Are We Okay to Be Here Now? So I'll read that one. The day sits outside my side itself, and I am uncomforted by the news. We are coming together in harmony. Mm. The day fades into darkness on the festival of light. Water gives itself onto me, patterns repetitive, and I sit just taking in the events of scenery, coming out of nothing, coming out of the haze of atoms, of parallel dimensions, of the quantum ties that separate us, the red string of fate, pulling hard to draw us together, binding us, get me closer to myself and release the waves that repeat in my head. Light is fading before rising, twin eyes that sparkle with moonlight, billions of stars greeting us with home. And I ask myself, is it okay to?
Probably not the lovely poem, but very nice. Thank you, Ari. Good to have you back. We missed you. If you want to get something done in the next 24 to 36 hours, I'm putting together the next Stones Throw. The theme is Unalive the Algorithm. If you can think of any anti-internet or explain why you don't go on TikTok, that could be an epic poem in and of itself worthy of howl. Let us know.
Sure.
Up.
It's been a while since I've done a reading, so yeah.
Very, very nice. Let's go to Jan Rowe. Jan Rowe, welcome back.
You have a background, right, babe?
Hi. This is called Blush Plus. That's Blush Plus. Mark Twain, aka Samuel Clemens, said humans are the only animals that blush or need to. My 6-year older sister, Karen, said a gathering was talking, gossiping about our great Aunt Jenny, born 1896, saying she married an Indian. Robert Parks, who drove an engine on the last independent railroad, the Monongahela. So, as a small child sitting there scribbling away, I said, "Oh, what tribe?" Speaking of Samuel Clemens, his spouse and young child both got cholera and survived. Then he lost his child to diphtheria, which is in the DPT, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis vaccine. Thank you. Just a rough draft.
Thank you, Jan. Let's go to Robert Fleming, our resident visual poet from Delaware. Everyone should have a visual poet from Delaware as their resident
Thank you.
visual poet from Delaware. In our case, our poet from Delaware happens to actually be from Delaware. Take it away, Mr. Fleming.
Thank you. I am also a publisher of Old Scratch Press, and I have agreed on the 30th day of every month to write a blog. So this is my November blog, and I will share it. It's also a tribute to my friend Jan Rowe because it is a nonfiction work. So this is the cover picture. And the title is Secrets to Publishing Your First Creative Work. You've put it on your bucket list to be a published author. Well done. Who are you doing this for? Yourself, others, or both? Yours truly, without even knowing, wanted to be published. In 1973, at age 10, I published text on the bathroom brick wall of Roslyn Elementary School in Westmount, Montreal, Quebec. My work looked like the following, but also had curse words and genitalia graffiti. So this is the beautiful poem that was written on the wall. In days of old, when we're cold and toilets weren't invented, they laid their loads on the roads and walked away contented. This talented toilet author made choices, what topic to write about, poo-poo, what language to use, English, where to publish, on the bathroom wall, who the publisher is, self, what genre, poetry, what poetry devices, rhyme, humor, 5 lines, and not to disclose the author name, anonymous. Where you target your publication is guided by your confidence, courageous or timidity, about having other humans see and judge your work. If you are feeling timid, like the Cowardly Lion, publish your writing in your personal diary. Be sure to select a diary with a lock and attach the key to your necklace that you wear even when you shower. And this is the picture of the Cowardly Lion from the Wizard of Oz movie, which was released in 1939. The actor was Burt Lahr, I think. If you get a little courage, self-publish your work on social media, Facebook, like I did in the following work. On Facebook, other humans will see your work, but will not experience the review selection of a judge who accepts or rejects your work. So this was one of my Facebook visual poems. High heel runway walk, daughter trips on red carpet, drag mother lesson. If you find the courage of Joan of Arc, send your work to a publication where work is selected by an editor. And here is a traditional image of Joan of Arc. Tips for setting yourself up for the best chance of publication acceptance. For your first publication, select a publication that has a 50% or greater acceptance rate, like Vanity Press, where you'll have to buy a book that could cost $50, an organization's newsletter, like a religious one you are a member of, or a school you're an alumni of. Read the target publication and only submit to them if they publish work similar to yours. Genre, poetry, theme, love. Read the submission's directions and follow them. Sometimes there is a theme like love. When there is a theme, only submit work that is the theme requested. Ready? Take a big breath in, hold 3 seconds, exhale. What is your publication confidence? Timid or courageous? And then this is a Zoom picture of myself that I took from this meeting. And then I list my publisher profile on Old Scratch Press and the link to my book White Noir and the magazine Instant Noodles, which I'm an editor from. So thank you for letting me share my nonfiction work. And now that I am a publisher, I have the opportunity to write one nonfiction work a month.
It's a tough goal sometimes, especially if you're on the if you're on the poetry train. That's what I've been trying to do for a long time, something outside of my newsletters and blog posts. And good luck. I hope you can keep up. Up next, I'd like to welcome up Marianne Honecker.
Okay, I've got more golden shovels. This one is based on a passage from a poem by Danusha Lamoris called "O Darkness" from Bonfire Opera. And this is the quote. Is the world still so afraid of shadows? With the dark face of the earth falling across the moon? The dark earth from which we've sprung, to which we shall return. What we do not know lies in darkness, the way the unsayable rests at the back of the tongue. So let us sing of it, for the earth is a dark loam, and the night sky an unfathomable darkness. And it is darkness I now praise, the dark at the exact center of the eye, dark in the bell's small cave, the secret cavity of the nucleus, the quark. How hidden is the sacred, quickening in the dark behind the invisible world. And this is the poem that I made from that. It's rather long, so have patience. It's called The Concubines of Hades. I try hard to stay stuck. I try hard to stay tucked within what is. Distorted branches reflect in the black glass of the end table. The world invites us deeper. The forest is still. The wind forgot to whisper, to speak so it may be seen. I keep a lamp on, afraid of permutations of shadows and of what my mind will build from them. The shadows shorten and lengthen as day passes, being of what is, but cast off. Shadows of the leaves caress the ground. In the full dark, I see only the contours of your face. Deer wait for the cusp of twilight, of waning day. Birds have a singular opera for the receding shine, movement of light over earth. Into the sentence of night's hours I'm falling. Blackness eats the blacktop, spanning across the innocent earth, hiding its teeth. The night gobbles light, lays down quiet for the moon. I am in my evening gown of moss. The night opens her mouth wide. In the dark, the sky pulls back and exposes earth. I live directly across the street from death. We have coffee together. Which way will the bat swerve in its flight? We've learned to talk casually, me from fear sprung like a tulip from its bulb. Lead me to the secret center of the stars, towards which I'm leaning in full bright hope. What are we but flecks of night the sun chipped off? I shall wear my ball gown of stained glass when I return to the semaphore of light's rays. I will say, what language is that? Night and I converse so long, we have forgotten the words the day speaks. Do you speak in the hour's commas? I'm not a bit like what you think. I've come to know a little of night's language, the way it lies across the laminated floor. Come in, eat the supper made of darkness. My eyelids are closed so often. I'm the mole in the heart of the earth, a way of sleeping before sleep. I will stay in the center of the moment. It's unsayable. It passes fast as light. It never rests. I'm at the cusp of the moon's crescent, at the back of the theater, seeing the movie and the watchers alike. Back before I died, I dreamed of romance, a wholeness made up of two. Now I am the wholeness, paper of acid on night's tongue. What you see should not be repeated, so keep the file on the desktop of your mind. Let revelation slowly unravel you. I am broken, but I'm still here to sing. What do you know of the iciness of death? I've gotten previews of it, and it's hard to sleep through. I'm in for many years of this invisible cell, the sentence being life as it's lived on Earth. I will stay in the center of what is. I won't live in television light, a coward's escape from the secrets of the dark. The earth twirls its gown of enchanted loam as green stems stretch, searching for the light, and I stretch in bed but fall back down into the dream I was living, a phantom of light, of night. Stars millions of miles away punch through sky in our filmy atmosphere. I'm in an undershirt of shadow, my unfathomable chest, how it sends out hooks in the darkness. Do not snip my lines, O fate of scissors and twine. I have so few connections, and it is an endless winter night. This is what is, myself, my ropes, my robes of darkness. I am not night's only pet, but she owns my eye. I, that fiction, will stay rooted in the now. I dissolve, and my lips crack with praise. Night's path is long, unwilling pilgrim. The minute hand is only a sound. Dark laps time up, hollows it out. Am I at even the first milestone? I forgot. The darkness has no measurements, exact or estimated. It has a center. I will wait in the center of night, of unknowing. O moonflower, star of the earth, drawing close to the hungry eye. I'm promised nothing but by the wild dark. Door of the fleeting moment, let me in. Blanket of night wrap me. I am tired. The midnight hour sleeps sleekly in, cat-like. A bell's mouth opens, tongue of starlight, while the small hours wait. They emerge from their secret cave. The deep well of night offers up the black pearl water of sleep. It is secret. You won't remember songs from its cavity of black holes and twin stars, of novas, of the corridors of your own mind. The night keeps it tight in her fist, tight as a nucleus. Night is the first goddess, fertile. When the world was her egg, smaller than a quark, it cracked and love fluttered out. The how of the universe will always be hidden. I want to stay in the now, and what is, but it erupts with questions. Now is the cruelty of nations. Now is the sacred. Now is the first kicks of the quickening of tomorrow. I invented the in which I meet the day, a gown of stained glass. The ones who hear death speak stay in the dark. I ate the pomegranate seeds behind the veil of earth and its waters. The concubines of Hades are invisible. I must have broken a pact with the world. That's all. Thanks.
Lovely work. Thank you so much, Mary. And Nike Truth will have next if she wishes to read.
Yes, I do. So this is the latest version of a poem called Alchemist's Hymn. The vivid decided year-round, slowly and always, to be a measured zest of doom, battered in sulfur, expectations, corrections, dust, and the gristle of follies. Churned in nitrogen, soaked in stock, knead the terpene into the marrow, fickle and bubbling, stirring the pleasure of confusion, illusion. Allow pride to sear your soul so you will always remember to be immortal, always remember the taste of birth. Determine the texture of your heart, boiling over and over for eternity, like royal vinegar. It's a taste that sits in the marrow, that beasts and mortals know and don't forget. Thank you.
Glad to have you here. Thank you so much. We have next up, let's bring up Mr. Richard Spizak for the first round of this round robin.
Thank you so much. I have a couple interesting pieces. I will bring you one and then save the second for the next round. This first piece is sort of what's a good way to put it? Sort of a mea culpa. Uh, it's written on behalf of the Justice Department. It's called "Why Try?" Why try? So he's a spy. Why try? America doesn't care. Why should I? Once I was a prosecutor, worked at The Hague to catch the looters and war criminals by the score. Now I'm back home and I gotta say, yeah, what for? America wanted a greedy thief and I tried to catch him. All I got was grief. A money launderer, a scofflaw too, but now they gave him the White House. He should be in a zoo. Who would have guessed this was the best Republicans could get? The Viper King right out of the nest. A corrupt influencer right from the start with a filthy mind and an evil heart. He liked Putin, liked his FSB. What do you think he's gonna be? He loves his Orban, Hungarian strongman. Couldn't America tell he's exactly the wrong man? Surrounds himself with thugs and hoods. You'd think perhaps maybe he's up to no good. He says he'll be a dictator from the first day one. What do you think? Maybe he said it for fun. He says he'll deport a million or more. He'll round him up and offer no bail. He'll use the army to connect all this mob, and all the way his pals make money from the job. He's already told the petroleum boys, just give me money. They'll receive all the oil riches, the greedy creeps, the sons of bitches, sticky like honey. While the earth is gasping, the ocean's getting deep. They're busy making blood money. Isn't that neat? Island nations and those near the coast, they'll notice first whose goose is the roast. Drill, baby, drill was their noisy shout. With ferocious climate change, we'll see what that's about. But as for me, I once worked for justice, but now the Republicans say he's our hero. Just trust us. My pleasure.
Nice work, sir. Up next, let's bring up Mr. John Wisick.
Hi, I've got a chapbook of physics poems coming out by Alien Buddha Press. It's called Explaining Humanity to Electrons. And this piece is called Physics 101, Final Exam in a Post-Truth Society. And I should say that it's sort of a found poem because I took the answers from the most Dunning-Kruger comments on YouTube physics video. So let's see how this goes. Question number 1. A car rounds an unbanked curve of radius 50 meters. What is the maximum speed it can take the curve, assuming a friction coefficient of 0.2? Science must destroy its current model because special interests corrupted what should be a source of truth. Question 2. A cannon elevated 45 degrees from the horizontal fires a projectile at 1,000 meters per second. How far does the projectile travel horizontally before hitting the ground? The separation of science and religion ushered in pride and ego. God is the answer. Question 3. Assume a mammogram delivers a radiation dose of 0.4 millisieverts to a patient 5 centimeters from the source. How far away should a radiology technician stand so as not to receive a yearly radiation dose of 50 millisieverts? Assume the therapist performs 16 mammograms per weekday. Academic elites play musical chairs with the winners gaining wealth and prestige. Meanwhile, they ignore the fact that dark matter is merely hydrogen with the electron closer to the nucleus. Also, relativity and everything based on it is wrong because the speed of light is not constant. Michelson and Morley proved it in 1887. Just a little aside here, the hydrogen with the electron closest to the nucleus is the ground state of the hydrogen atom, and that's not dark matter, and Michelson and Morley proved no such thing in 1887. Okay, well, let's continue. Question 4. Calculate the height above Earth's surface that a geosynchronous satellite orbits. G gives a value for G, the mass of the Earth, and the radius of the Earth. The gravitational field does not exist. We have no proof, only acceleration in the vicinity of massive bodies. That is not proof. Question 5. What is the acceleration of a block sliding down a plane inclined at 30 degrees if the coefficient of friction is 0.2? Scientists are dogmatic, arrogant, and willfully ignorant. When big science suppressed Velikovsky's worlds and collision, I lost all respect for physics. Question 6. A submarine's hull can withstand a pressure of 3,000 kilopascals. How deep can the submarine dive? Most white dwarfs are trillions of years older than lamestream age of the universe. This is why conspiracy theorists like me doubt academia. And so there you go. That is our knowledge of science.
Very nice. Thank you so much, John. That was awesome. And now we go to the esteemed Professor Hush.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, I don't have any poetry and I've begun stuttering because I've just been doing a lot. I think I tried to write some poetry, but I couldn't find poetry. All I have been able to find lately are words. So I'm just going to share with you some conversations I've been having with this podcast. That is one of the only podcasts that really hits home for me. They talk about COVID. They're talking about everything, and they're a couple of disabled writers in some way, shape, or form. They're disabled, but they write books. Like one of the um, they write actually published books by major publishers. And I've been talking in chat with these people and their community. And I've been leaving voice stuff because my nerves hurt. I've been typing so much that my nerves hurt because I have long COVID. So I just started doing voice in the chat. So I'm going to share you some voice chats with this community I've been sharing because I felt like I can say these things to this community. So hopefully the volume is up. I'm going to test it. Let me see. Yeah, so because supremacists, ableists, invincibility complexes feel under attack. Now we have casual genocide every day. Near ugly law level behavior and, banning masks. Because it's really important that we all make sure that supremacist invincibility complexes don't feel under attack, or they might fucking super implode, super explode, and fucking kill everyone in the country. If they had to, OMG, actually see people wearing a life preservative mask. Now who's the fucking snowflake? Ego melts instantly like snowflake upon touch, upon recognition that OMG might actually be real life human. And this is the problem with what's considered extremely powerfully positioned white men, extremely lacking in practice in self-actualization. So then the only response was someone named Ego Dissolution, and it was an upside down flag burning, American flag burning. And then all day long on Thanksgiving, me and other disabled people on Facebook were just really, I'm going to share what I said after that in the same chat. I have a friend dying in the street right now in another country of COVID. Not because just not be it's just because that's what's happening now. Okay? To people, it could happen to, they just happened to be an introverted couple who caught COVID. She lost her partner. He died. She became too disabled to work, became homeless. You know, the workplace is dangerous too, but the homelessness exposes you to COVID as well. And you know, just when her friend's been kind to contact me because I've been most communicative with her besides her friend in the actual country she's in, and she's been like trying to ask me where is this woman because she had a room for her, but the last thing the woman said was, my symptoms, I can't communicate anymore. And she's just, you know what I mean? So that was going on. And then all day on Thanksgiving, just me and other disabled people. I'll just play this. Okay, so the verdict is in, right? Because I really, I knew what was going to happen with the election, right? But the lead up to was just, God, can we get it over with already? And everybody who was on their edge of their seat about it who really doesn't know kind of like preemptively what's going to happen. Because I'm so sorry if you really, like, if you're among those people who really thought like a good outcome was become of this. I mean, either way, right? It's just a different flavor of poison with this most recent election, right? Like the flavors just of the poison is just different, and how it's delivered would have been just different. Like the racism and sexism and patriarchal and all the everything's classisms. It just would have been a different delivery style, but it still would have happened. You know, it's just more blatant with him, and probably would have been more passive aggressive and really dug when to dig and swift, like a knife real quick in, like, because they would have been so mad that just based, because they would have been obsessed with the race part of it all, and like just so mad that the woman with uh the that they perceive as black, the mixed woman, won over the white man. So it just would have been all about that. And I'm sure this is an audience that gets it. And I'm sorry if you are supportive of Trump, or you disagree with me and all that. But this is my mixed woman experience, so I just get the gist of what it is to be a mixed woman in this country, and it is not easy. They make it complex. I don't think it's complex. I think humans are human and everybody should just accept that fact. But that seems very hard for some people to chew on, the whole element of humans being human. So, they don't believe. Anyway, you know what I felt about that because it said it in the other chat. But what I'm trying to say is, with Thanksgiving though, I had a little bit of hope, some stupid hope inside of me. My meme would inspire some person to put on that mask and care about it not spreading. I mean, the news of bird flu, at least some news that got, like, I thought they maybe think a little about, well, we saw what happened with COVID, and we don't want bird flu. No, but no hope for no. I shouldn't, like, and me and the other disabled people on the news feed who I noticed this, were really at it yesterday. Or really doing posting the most postiest post, and like, um, like, fuck, we stayed up. I noticed my friends in doing that stayed up all night. We all did, because we're like worried about the whole fucking country, like health, public health, so it's it's awful, you know. So I'm just today kind of like I was the day after the election. I really knew it was going to happen with Trump. That wasn't as much of a. I got a little stupid hope for Thanksgiving though. and holiday decisions. I thought they might care to love themselves and each other like more genuinely, like for protecting their actual lives. But they didn't, you know, they didn't. And they made the wrong decision. So I'm worried because a month from now, I think it takes a while now for a lot of these variants to incubate. So I think by the time Christmas pops around, that's when they might be getting sick. Some people might get sick earlier than that, but holy shit, they're gonna get sick. And the day he steps foot in, and I don't know what he's gonna do when he does, but they're gonna be like, oh shit, everyone's gonna. You know what? I don't want to think I know what the future holds. Maybe there's. I should probably stay in the moment. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I'm trying to say. Today, I'm taking I got the verdict. The verdict is in. They didn't do the hopeful thing I hoped they would have done. They didn't. So I'm just saying, I'm taking a self-care day to day so I can refresh and come back with refreshment when it comes to what I'm sharing with people of my intellect. Because you know what I noticed that's brand new? And I'm autistic, right? We were all, I noticed, I was told that there's a lot of people who are very neuro individual here too. I mean, lots of people are, we're all neuro individual. That's the point, right? But we all have unique experiences and life chronology and how we experience and how we articulate our experience and emote our experience, express blah blah blah. But like, you know what it means to be a neuro individual. Just a little bit more different than you don't communicate like everybody else. And it kind of sticks you out like what they think is a sore thumb, but I think it's beautiful. And so what I noticed though is brand new and I'm concerned about my blink rate. I'm watching my and my blink rate has holy shit. I'm looking at myself, watching myself back in videos, and I think I'm doing too much, for my and I need a moment to because I've been a hermit now for the past handful of years, like just by myself, observing the internet, giving my voice to and not giving my voice to. I'm just participating my voice in. Not fucking. Wait, let's not get into that. Oops. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, my blink rate is doing something like. Obviously, my thoughts are really doing a lot, processing a lot. So I need to take a moment to give myself some real genuine self-compassion and relaxation. Oh my shit. Like I mean self-care when I say self-care. I don't mean that corporate shit when they're like, go self-care because we want you to be able to come back and take more shit. I mean real self-care. And I hope every one of you here is whoa, I'm like stuttering, right? And the blink rate, yeah, I need to meditate and I need to do some holy shit. I hope everyone else is getting that self-compassionate cozies, getting the cozies in. Okay, sorry that was so long, but that's it with that. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Professor. Would Tim Gager like to be the second to last person in this round robin?
Unless I'm the very last. I'm
Actually, I can put James Van Loy before you if you like.
no. I'm just messing with your intro. I'm happy to read anytime, so I'm prepared now. I like this new Zoom. It tells me that I'm talking. No shit. It says Timothy Gager's talking right there. I hope it doesn't recognize if I have a little gas. That would really suck. I mean, it's real, it becomes real. All right, enough. Let me read a few poems that I've written recently. Um, First one is, I've been writing
since I'm now a couple years away from the death of my parents, I'm able to write about it. So a lot is coming out. Um, Mausoleum. They cut mom's hair in the sun until there was nothing left. The scissors' only decision, each snip, she was a little less present, until it was only a shape, an outline of a head, the memory of her. Dad sat there in a chair that wouldn't move. They locked his wheels, like locking a door that didn't matter, because he'd already left. Not physically. No, he stayed. But that's what leaving is, isn't it? They weren't buried in the ground, just parked somewhere on the other side of the wall, the space between what was alive and what wasn't, forever stuck in the air, floating like smoke. The stones holding the symbols, always in sharp depth, the M and the C, lovely and sharp. I keep these letters I tried to pull off. The columbarium, you could walk to the end. What we do with darkness. There's something with the way you laugh that you're not afraid of that sound makes peace with the messes we've both been. When it's dormant, all I hear is your breath, slow, steady, like any promise I'm too scared to give. Instead, I kiss the edge of your jaw, where a sliver of light falls on your skin, as if it's something that's always there, in the quiet darkness of the world, which never will know us. I know there is more than that. Yet I want to escape, drive all night without purpose, not wanting to go back home. The end. But hey, any folks that have bought my most recent book, I posted a blog yesterday. So, quick story. I hung out with Eliz McKim the other night, and she bought the book, and as she, of course, she reads everything as she goes. Oh, this, oh, that, and I realized that some of my stuff that I do is so obscure that only I kind of get the references to a lot of it. So I took each poem on my blog and I put the reference of it. It's either a picture or an explanation or a YouTube clip of what I'm referencing. So if you have the book, go to my blog and have a little read along, a little companion with it.
Very nice. I saw that post with your latest Easter egg this week, so I'm gonna check that out for sure. Thank
Easter
you, Tim.
egg. And you know what they say about Easter eggs? Egg salad for a week.
Oh, geez. Let's welcome uh, let's welcome to close the first round of this round robin. Is he still here? Oh yes, Mr. James Van Loy. Read his column from yesterday. The one thing Oddball published on Thanksgiving. It's all one thing. His latest column was yesterday. Take it away, James.
Thanks, Chad. So this is a poem for my granddaughter, Haley Jane Cornelia and the Dragon, it's called. Haley Jane Cornelia and the Dragon. The last time I saw Haley and the Dragon was on the arches in the playground of her grade school out in Wellesley. But then, as a little one, I had sung Puff the Magic Dragon to her and brothers with a pop-up book to illustrate the lyrics and a record to play backup sitting on the living room couch, cozy, with a fire crackling and blazing up the chimney as she was climbing on up the arm of the overstuffed couch and across its back behind my neck, wriggling and wiggling. Baby dragon who suddenly, in middle school play, comes out on stage, and there she is with a giant dragon puppet operated by three tween-age young guys while she has this dragon mask on and vaporous wraps
Nice.
of purple costume with the stage lights alternating, circulating color around her form, transfigured, looking just exactly like her oldest sibling, half-sister, Revelation,
Yeah.
Apocalypse of Dragon, the great Chinese dragon flashing in clouds, Western version, a flame in a cave. And this is a Dutch song, and I like this guy because Dutch and English are like really their cousin languages. And this guy actually writes songs where you can pretty much almost make out the English translation from the Dutch words. It's a little bit long. Uh it's called Lied von Moses, the song of Moses. The sun comes up, it's in the verte, and groene valley, voorbij de rivier. Tijd om te rusten, tijd voor de stilte. Mijn ogen zijn moe, ik heb zoveel gezien. Ik zeg de vrije val, zeg het gouden kalf. Zo te drinken en dansen om zichzelf te vergeten. Ik zeg een hele vuur en zeg het diepste dal. Water en rotsen, broed veel uit de hemel. En na sta ik hier op een grens in de tide. This is het eindpoint, op reis is voorbij. En daar aan de overkant ligt het beloofde land. En it is onbereikbaar dichtbij. Ik kan dus of de tijdsam niet meer lezen, te veel aan Hiels profeten, met het hart op de tong. En zie het, mijn volk, ik zie het, mijn volk, som ontevreden, en ze weten wat zelf niet beroemen. En ik dacht altijd dat het opnieuw kan beginnen, maar ik heb weg te veel verkeerd in geschat. Laat niemand ander heft of lied maar zingen. Ik heb alle gegaan, has alle gegeven wat het had. En ik kan deze tijd som niet meer lezen. Te veel aan Hiels profeten met het hart op de tong. En het zie daar aan de overkant. Daar aan de overkant ligt het beloofde land. En het is onbereikbaar dichtbij. It is onbereikbaar dichtbij. Onbereikbaar dichtbij. The beloofde land, the promised land, is unreachbar dichtbij, unreachably close by. Thank you. Not
It's different.
Thank you, James. Thanks to everyone who participated in the first round. Round two coming up. Going back to Ari. Oh, wait, oh God, wait, what?
Oh goodness, oh goodness. Okay. All right. I have a poem called The Storm Betters. The Storm Betters. Okay, here we go. The light is beginning to fade, and I am storming within myself, a storm that culminates, that dances in the introspection. I gather, I tend my garden. I find myself at heights great. I find myself no prerequisite. It holds these shops against the rocks and mellows out the boards which have rotted, pulled out, been replaced, continued against the sea. I keep going in spirit of you. I am lost in the crowd that shows up. One after another, the building of the onslaught of waves crashing against my ship. I stay steady. I hold form. I keep my ship tight and move through these waves, trying to process the dance that comes the ultimate, weather witch, persisting. I am not afraid.
Very nice. Thank you so much. And back to Jan Rowe, if she's willing.
It's pretty rough. There are many counties in Pennsylvania, dozens. I'm from Fayette. It has the worst arson rate in the state. It has the highest poverty rate in the state. It's lost 30% of its population. I got out in 74. There were hints. That's why there's just some hints. Couldn't breathe in Pittsburgh. Had to roll the car windows up. And this was before air conditioning. Ship those things to China, and they're going to give that steel to us so we can fight them. Here's another hint. Semester of student teaching, shortened by 2 weeks. There was no fuel for heating at the junior high. And getting gas at the gas station, you can only do odd and even numbers ending your license plate. One more hint. Coal barges on the river being shot at? Yes. Gunshots at the barges, coal barges on the river. Thank you. It's a rough draft.
Thank you, Jan. And back to Robert Fleming. I believe the share options still exist for you.
Thank you. So I'd like to dedicate this to our special animal guest tonight we had at Stone Feature, which was Mary's cat. I'm currently doing studies and graphic arts with different animals. This is an example of a study of a cat. On the left side is the original image. Then the one to the right is an app through software called Canva, which is called Tracer, which will make the image between all white and all black. I usually go in the middle. And then the third column is voxel art, which makes your object look like Lego. And then the fourth column is pixel art. So I did a second page of cats. Here's also a second page of cats, which is in process. And then what I usually do is the best images, I usually make individual ones. So this is a voxel art cat, which came out well. Another one, which is a white. For a display, it would be best to put it with a black or a gray background. And here's another cat, which is gray. I probably would use a blue background for this. Surprising, this one looks a little bit like an owl as opposed to a cat. And then this is another tabby. And then I want to dedicate the next piece to the two writers in the room who write political satire, our host Chad and Richard Spivak. So this is a satire image. It's called The Alpha and the Catteries, and it is located in the Oval Office. So thank you for letting me share my study of cats, and we'll see where it goes. I may submit it to Writers Resist, which John Wessick told me about, despite that they've rejected me twice. But greetings from Delaware and the litter box.
I'll have to check out Writers Resist. So this whole documentary about the Cats musical. Who's the one who put that together? Well, Andrew Lloyd Webber. Yes, it's there was this theater director Harold something who was doing interview with Weber, going like, so what is this about? Is this saying is this supposed to be a metaphor for like the downtrodden, the class? And apparently Andrew Lloyd Webber just said, Hal, it's just about it's about cats. That's it. Anyway, let us go. And the cat people agree. Yeah, that's all you need. We are moving on to Marianne Honecker, whose cat can hopefully make another guest appearance. And where's Ari's cat?
Seems
I saw her in
pretty
the
sleepy.
beginning. Oh.
Okay, so this is another golden shovel. The quote comes from Maggie Dietz's North of Boston in Perennial Fall. Hoarfrost coats and cuffs the playing fields, a heyday of listening. So there's hope in my throat as I walk across them to the woods with my chest flung open, spilling its coins. The light so bright I can hear it, a silver tone like a penny whistle. And here is the very much unlike it golden shovel I made from that. It is not yet the season for hoarfrost. It's called a hollow bell. Start over. It is not yet the season for hoarfrost. The trees, the grass, the streets dampness coats without shine. The earth is very old and time and space older. What is it that cuffs the universe? Is there an endpoint, the edge of being? The galaxy is playing out to the last distant note, full of fields, full of feathers, full of gases changing, a trick the trees know. Our fatuous heyday clings to its end. Fields of junk cars, of toppled tenements, bloody walls glistening. It's the season of Thanksgiving, and so food will be jumbled on the counters. There's a way to do it with blinders on, hope, but it's tiring. The legions of ants are in their complex of tunnels together. My words try to melt and transform in my throat. I want to sit in the middle of love, as fire burns in the earth's molten core. I search my body for where love resides, walk through fields calling out love's name. Across the lake, divers sink in their search. To them not fruitless, one surfaces with Oakleys. To find love, texts scour the internet, the searches resulting in lust. The silent woods knows the pain of its treeless edges. With sorrow, roots reach for the fallen. My seeking finds a hollow bell in my chest. I am tired of smiling. I have flung the heavy doors to my sanctum open. No one enters, and hope is spilling out. I'm tired of society, its exact, mysterious rituals. My coins are spent. Day falls into evening. The exhausted sun doesn't change. The light scours the earth and doesn't find love. So the white sky wilts. Even in the bright noon of humankind, did we love? I want to bottle it, seal it in a can. It is a diamond found in mud. Hear the moon wail over the earth. If it is full, it screeches. A little owl and pine hides in the needles. The silver light sinks into the earth, then the night's bass tone. The sky lowers before pulling back like a cloud veil to reveal night space. I am a strange, long-fingered creature, a penny finder. Soon winter, when the wind will whistle. That's all. Thank you. You're muted,
You're muted,
Chad.
Chad.
Uh, it takes all of you yelling that before Zoom tells me I'm muted. It lets me delusionally go on. Thank you, Mary, and thanks for the little kitty cameo. We are moving forward and moving back to Nike Truth.
Yes. So this piece has no title. They're all making a left turn. Everyone wants to turn left. A line of cars are filling up the other side of the one-way street, all waiting for their chance in traffic. Waiting. Patience is a virtue on a gray day like this one. Patience makes the line wrap down the path like a lazy snake slinking in the grass, waiting for that auspicious time to break through. Everybody's taking a left turn today. They're going to, coming from, heading there, with a left turn en route. Patience. On the brakes. Patience for the driver in front of you, counting up patience like loose change. Waiting so patiently for the next opportunity to escape. Thank you.
Thank you, Nike. Come back soon. Up next is Richard Spizak.
All righty. I have a little something for you that sort of a bit of a complaint against our, even handed justice for all. Everyone gets the same treatment. And then again, once again, it's proved in the switch. Once again, thank you. It's proved in a switch if you're rich, you can be 47 kinds of son of a bitch. Walk through walls no cell can keep you. Walk through the open church door and ignore the people. Once again, all restraints go unused. Why, son, if you're rich, the sheriff will shine your shoes. And if I listed all the places the charges were dropped, the myriad places where the law has just flopped, you'd be convinced that laws just there weren't any. That is, unless you're cash short or down to your last few pennies. Or then the law would drop on you if you had not two coins together. Stop! You'll be hauled up on a million charges, or maybe accidentally some copper's gun discharges. Accidentally, of course, because it's rare, but you poor pool boy, you'll probably just end up in jail. It's completely unnecessary to remind that any rich man in a court will soon find a special place to rest his feet on a fleet of eternity's attorneys to make it all read. Steal some secrets, corrupt election, maybe next time you'll see justice or just his next connection. How he stumbled past any law form, he'll just laugh and pass out some gold-plated chloroform. Steal, robber, murder, just for sure. You can barely 10 minutes later he's waltzing out the door. He'll be rewarded in the end as long as he can buy enough of those judicial prejudice or friends. Justice just looks away and coughs. Election interference, don't worry that well-coiffed head. All the charges will suddenly be dismissed instead. Election interference, that's for the littles. Go ahead. Your maid just told us the prosecutor's too busy cooking up your favorite victuals instead. Investigation of your bogus college would drop by prosecutors with willful knowledge. Amazing what writing kiting checks can do from Mad Hatton, Miami, or Kalamazoo. His boast, he can shoot anyone on 2nd Avenue, no longer seems to ring so hollow. That stuff you once found so hard to swallow, more like Daniel in a den of spaniels, walk on water, steal the race, seems simply pathological. And if an occasional reporter dares to ask a question, hey, order me up 11,780 votes because the case is all washed away, but there's a great big flood of money. Just take note. All the secrets stacked and packed by the pull at Mar-a-Lago. Any discussion of that? Well, my friend, keep that under your hat. There's been an embargo. Will New York or Georgia find some spine or just slink away like Getz in the nick of time? Thank you, my friends.
And boom. Thank you, Richard. Once again, Richard's going to be appearing probably in every Monday on Oddball in the foreseeable future. He's not running out of material anytime soon. Up next, Mr. John Wesick.
Okay, so when you get to be old, I guess you start writing memoirs, and so here's a little bit of one. Called An Autobiography of Places and Things. I remember the Rockies on the purple horizon and smell of bacon from our brick barbecue and the crisp mountain air. The bald man on our black and white TV was Eisenhower or maybe Khrushchev. Atop my rocking horse and cowboy hat and bolo tie, I fired my cap gun. Red paper strips singed with circular burns spiraled out of its ejection port. My hands were too weak to change the TV channel from Bonanza to something about New York City where all the sophisticates lived. A green Chevy Impala with fins like a jet replaced our rusty and rounded pink Cadillac. I cracked sunflower seeds in the back seat as Mom drove to my cousin's house where he and I drank hot water from the tap and pretended to be steam locomotives. I had an aquamarine sleeping bag for when Mom and Dad pitched a nylon-smelling tent in the mountains. Once our car got stuck for a day and we ate canned tortillas that didn't taste as great as I'd hoped. Every time I picked up a glittering rock, Dad said, "That's mica." He caught fresh trout in the stream and pan-fried them in butter. I savored that sweet flesh until sharp bones caught like fish hooks in my throat. First grade was a 5-minute walk along a chain link fence, and I didn't see why I needed to memorize the alphabet. Kathy with a C played cowboy with me, and another girl whose smell of pee wouldn't leave me alone. As soon as I made a best friend whose companionship glowed like a warm sun through clouds, we moved. Builders in Kansas City constructed Mom's dream house where the garage was next to the kitchen. No more carrying groceries through the living room for her. Our new home had intercoms with brass panels on the walls, the height of modernity. There were buttons to talk and knobs to play FM radio through the whole house. At my age, the hot and humid summer was relaxing as a sauna. On July 4th, Dad fired a rocket over the field of milkweed out back. It was plastic, had 3 stages, just like NASA, and the remains would have made a great toy. I never found them, but I had a water rocket that I'd pressurize with a hand pump. I also had a toy bazooka that fired a polyethylene missile from its cardboard tube via a spring. We couldn't house train Norm, the basset hound, despite Dad shoving his nose in poop, so Dad built a wooden doghouse with shingled A-frame roof in the backyard. Despite the chain link fence, Norm ran away, and we spent tedious hours searching the neighborhood to find him. Mom said Norm was following his nose, and I dreamed they amputated the dog's nose, leaving only a square gap behind. Dad boasted about Norm plowing paths in heavy snow like us patrolling the yard path and coming to dinner path. He poured beer on the patio for Norm to lap up and sneeze. Once we entered Norm in a dog show. Mom dressed him in a t-shirt, cut-off pants with a hole for his tail and a sailor hat Dad had left over from the Navy. All the other dogs did tricks. Mortified at being so outclassed, I dragged Norm across the stage to the crowd's hoots and hollers. One day, our teacher announced President Kennedy had been killed and dismissed the class. We had the next day off, but I was too immature to care about anything other than what was on TV. After 2 years in our dream home, Dad got transferred to Illinois. My parents let me choose between Lyle and Downers Grove. Our teacher had read us a story about Lyle the crocodile. Lyle it was. Before leaving, we drove Norm to a farm where Weimaraners encouraged him to plash in a pond. Even though I wanted a better dog than that stubborn hound, I cried when we left him behind. And there's a lot more of that, but anyway, that's kind of where we are.
We all write memoirs as we get older because we really start to forget a shit then. If I wait until I'm 70 or retired, I'm going to be like, I remember this guy, Paul. We did stuff. Chapter 2. Anyway, let's move now back to Christiana Celli, aka Professor Hush, aka Dr. Whisper. I don't know.
Sorry, technical difficulties. And now the camera is like zoomed in. Stop. Um, they ask me how are you? You're a dream come true. Oh, smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke gets in your eyes. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have anything prepared, so I decided to be in the moment like I said I wanted to be. Thank you. That is
And,
all.
and boom.
I don't
Up
know.
next. Up next, Tim Gager. If you got a deep cut or an Easter egg or
I got something here.
an egg salad.
A deep a deep cut. This is a pantoon. Marcia said she wanted a real man like John Wayne, a man who could beat up something. But John Wayne used to beat up women, annoyed with some guy the next night she left with, a man who could beat up something. Getting hassled, I stood there still, annoyed with some guy the next night she left with. She decided to end it. Getting hassled as I stood there, she too left me, didn't want a man. She decided to end it. Who was angry? The shadow of wrath? She too left me, didn't want a man. But John Wayne used to beat up women. Who was angry like the shadow of wrath? She wanted a real man like John Wayne.
I miss doing pantoums. Thank you, Mr. Gager.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing this.
And now, last but not least, we go now to Mr. James Van Loy of the Van Loy clan.
Thank
Now
you.
make him sound like a Highlander. Anyway,
Actually, there is a connection between Flemish and Scotch, and if you actually listen to Flemish, which is a kind of more guttural version of Netherlands, you can actually hear oftentimes that it's very much like the Scottish brogue. So anyway, I have this poem here called "What Me Worry," which of course was that was from Mad Magazine. What me worry has head-on collision with Do Your Own Thing, who breaks and explodes. The rules don't matter anymore, do they now? Eternal now of the something from nothing cult of perpetual motion machine that can never die, never alive. The spirit of the mechanical age, a ghost, haunting grim proceedings, the trial engrossed on our thin skin. The poor get life without any parole, but the deathly power gets walls to defend their theft and abuse. Just counts in a lifelong career of monster tactics, consigliere lawyers enabling it all. And where's the next Roy Cohn now? And of course, Roy Cohn was the guy who was actually McCarthy's lawyer, who ran the Armin McCarthy hearings because he wanted to keep his lover in this country after he was drafted, and he literally took it into a congressional committee to get that done. And he, of course, also was the man who collaborated with the judge in the case of Ethel Rosenberg and put her in the electric chair. So, and he also, of course, was mentor to Donald Trump. So I have a song here for you. Another Dutch song called Deze Zee, the sea, the sea. Deze zee, die ik zo vaak bevaren heb, zee van tranen, leven zee van overvloeden heb. Deze zee is mij zo vaak te hoog gegaan, maar wat zij die, ik kan er nooit weerstaan. Ieder licht dat mij dik bij de haven bracht, bleek een schip passeren in de koude donkere nacht. In de akten is ik dan mijn zeilen weer. Deze zee blijkt mooier elke keer. Hoe wacht van ik niet aan land, was de vaarde westergrond, likte zij niet het zout van mijn ogen en mijn man. Hoe wacht dat ik niet uit mij veranderen kan, terwijl ik droomde van een blauwe horizon. Deze zee, hoe vaak heb ik er niet vervloekt, zij is anders Den gattin where iedereen naar zoekt maar perkoven. Ben ik altijd dicht bij mij. Deze zee ben jij. Hoe vaak van ik niet aan land, was de vader Westergrund, likte zij niet het zout van mijn ogen en mijn man. Deze zee waarvan ik alleen de diepte ken, weet dat ik voor goed haar zeeman ben. Deze zee die leeft in mij, dat ben jij. And they actually, usually, that song is done with bagpipes. So there's the connection across the North Sea to Scotland. Thank you.
Thanks for the education and the song and the verse as always, Professor Dr. James Van Loy. I recommend there's a bunch of Roy Cohn footage out there and some films. You might be able to find Citizen Cohn, which is actually a good movie with James Woods in it. Yes, the
Yeah,
insane James.
I think they have a documentary on Netflix, I think, don't they?
They have one on
Maybe it's
they have one on
Roger
YouTube.
Stone. Yeah, yeah.
They have one on YouTube called "Where's My Roy Cohn," which I believe is free with ads. I get to watch it for free because I have a slightly enhanced YouTube account. But if you can watch it for free with commercials, it looks very interesting. I'm probably going to grab it and check out for something sad but uplifting. Check out Angels in America, in which Roy Cohn is played by. Who is he played by? Oh God, not Robert De Niro. Al Pacino. Al Pacino actually plays Roy Cohn at the end of his life, dying from AIDS. Because of course the person in the army was a male soldier, and somehow he managed to bury that scandal. And even just looking at Al Pacino's dialogue, it's how he rationalizes the fact that Roy Cohn, as he speaks to himself in the third person, is not gay. So it's very fascinating, depressing, but amazing performances. And I don't watch anything James Woods in these days, but he was really good in Citizen Cone. Thank you. With that, I'm so not used to participating in the open mic. I don't insert myself anymore. I take my name out of the Ramdonator 5000, or rather, it took my name out. So, let me see. Ooh, I know what to do. I have an opportunity to share an image, which if you have not checked out my story section, well, I can share it with you now. This will take 15 seconds because having slept for most of the day, I'm surprisingly cognizant. I am surprisingly awake. Oops, let's get this. Wish I had hold music. Here we go. Here it comes. And boom. With that photo, I present my annual Thanksgiving poem. I was going to do a sequel. I promised I was going to do so many things writing wise this Thanksgiving because I thought I was going to be, I thought I was going to have all this energy afterwards. But I didn't get to do a sequel for Hand Turkey Jesus yet. Maybe later. But Hand Turkey Jesus, which is a Tonka. Hand Turkey Jesus has healing touch plus turkey. Side effects include a holy narcolepsy. Who knows when you'll rise again? And harkening back to the my earlier turducken joke, turducken Jesus. three essential holy substances, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, broil. The perfect Christmas dinner, converting people who managed to miss Easter and Thanksgiving gatherings. Jack T. Chick publishes pamphlets claiming turducken Jesus is a lie because Jesus and the Lord are the same. Alternative recipes offer the lamb in place of piled on Jesus. Nothing good can come of this. Less dismissible is the spirit debate. One accepts you can fill yourself with spirit, but feed a family of 12. This debate will keep the schools of thought too busy to ask where all of this body, blood, and soul comes from. Or worse, visualize heaven's plains, striptease with increasing speed until barren of grace. And with that, I will leave you for tonight. More announcements hopefully coming in the next couple of days, and I really would like to get the Stones Throw Unalive the algorithm out by, ideally I'd love it out this Monday. More realistically, it'll come out on Wednesday. But stay tuned for it. It would be the first time I get 2 issues of Stones Throw out in 1 year for the first time in a long, long, long ass time. So that would be wonderful because it looks like we're going to need another issue called the Democracy Benefit issue. Prepare your poems for that. Some of you have already sent some of you have promised. And I'll appreciate your work. And of course, submit to Oddball Magazine. I did send a link to, or I did prep a link. I don't know if I actually used it. Let's find out. Oh yes, the Christmas Wars. The annual Christmas Wars at Oddball Magazine is officially underway. And with wonderful introductory art by Eric N. Peterson. So if you have your own take on the Christmas Wars, your own piece of fiction, artwork, thanks in advance to Robert Fleming for providing the banner art way ahead of time. He got it out quicker than I got the calls for submission out. And I appreciate some of you have contributed before. I hope some of you will contribute again. And it should be a hell of a lot of fun. And even though we do have the banner art, you're welcome to submit your own art as well. Hoping to get some of you back for the end of December for Christmas week. Thank you guys very much. Obligatory wave time. And it was great to spend Black Friday with you. And I hope you guys come back. More announcements for the features for December and hopefully for more of 2025, if we're still allowed to exist, will be coming up shortly. It can be like this every week, whether it's Wednesday or Friday. All we need is you. Thank you guys and have yourselves an excellent evening. Or as I like to say, show's over. See you next time.